Hi everyone, my name is Amabel Araceli from 12 Bahasa number 4. Today I'm going to review a book called Kezia by William Piang. So William Piang was born on May 11, 1955 in Grande Prairie, Alberta, Canada. He is a writer who has completed his bachelor degree in religion at Warner Pacific College in Portland, Oregon. William Piang, whose familiar called Paul, was born in Canadian and along with his 3 siblings, who raised among primitive tribes by his parents who became missionaries in the highland of what was formerly New Guinea. This book has been successfully translated into various languages including Indonesian and has been successfully filmed. It was published with the first printing in 2007 and the last printing in 2013. The film, also titled Kezia, was released in 2017 and managed to achieve extraordinary popularity. This book was actually written by William Piang for his children and was rejected by mainstream and Christian publishers. Paul and his friend started their own publishing house to produce this book, and now there are over 1 million copies in print and it has topped the bestseller charts for weeks. So, Kezia is a religious fiction book. This book tells about human relationship with God, about how God works, and about forgiveness. This book discusses very deeply about religion and its very theological world. This book that tells about the life story of a man named Mac Phillips, about how he faced the tragedy his family experienced and how he came to terms with his inner wounds from a young age. Mac has a sad past with his drunk father, frequently beating him and his mother. But his father was very diligent in church. In the end, Mac chose to end his father's life by putting a chemical in his drink. The story continues with the story of Mac, who is already married. He has a beautiful wife and prays diligently too. Mac has 3 children whom he loves very much, namely Kate, Josh, and Missy. He always tries to be a good father and loves his children very much. And during his lifetime, he tried not to be like his father. However, there was the tragedy of the murder of his 3rd child, Missy. The little girl was kidnapped and only found clothes covered in blood. How heartbroken Mac is. He blamed himself and God so much and wondered what was missing from his actions so far. Diligent to church, too good to the surrounding and others. He loved his family so much. Why did God so cruelly punish him? So the fun of the story begins from here. Strange things happen to him. He has a meeting with 3 mysterious figures, which are Eloisa, Sarayu, and Jesus. So Eloisa describes the figure of Godfather. There is a strong reason this story depicts Godfather as a female figure. When there was a dialogue between Mackenzie and a female god named Eloisa, Mackenzie asks, why is the figure of Godfather in the form of a woman? So Eloisa also answered, if I took the figure of a father, of course you would have a different view because you have trauma to the father figure. Indeed, at the beginning of the story, it is told that Mackenzie had a drunken father who was violent to his wife and children. If examined in depth, the figure of Godfather should indeed be genderless. Godfather is neither male nor not female. Because if it is attached to a gender figure, of course there will be contradictions in it, considering the God is an unspeakable spirit or essence. She was so patient listening to Mac's complaints. Even when Mac is rude, Eloisa figure understands his attitude and always hugs him lovingly. This illustrated God's love for us. So the next one is Sarayu. Sarayu describes the figure of the Holy Spirit. Mac's encounter with Sarayu teaches us how big God's plan is for our life. In the film, the allegory of Sarayu is that it shows a large garden with different but very beautiful plants as God's creation. not only for ourselves but for all creatures on this earth. All of His creation have their respective function and purpose. Everything that happens for us, every decision we make has a cause and effect. Humans have the power to create their own happiness and sorrow. And did God create war, allowing murder? It is the interests and egos of each of us that create tragedy in this world. So the last one is Jesus. Jesus performed by a miracle by rescuing Meg, who was about to drown from the ship. Jesus made Meg walk on the water. What I remember are the words of Jesus to Meg. Everything seems impossible when you walk alone. Trust me, let's walk together and all is possible. He's a kind Middle Eastern man who enjoys woodworking and helps Meg to literally walk on water. With kindness and humor, he helps Meg to understand new ideas about faith over the course of the weekend, including talking through Meg's idea about what he expects God to look and act like. He also tells Meg that the church is simply a bureaucratic institution created by humans, and he prefers for those who follow him to try to form from personal the recognition rather than being distracted through trappings of religion. Yeah, so this story is packed very deeply. The dialogue are very beautiful, written and touching. The characterization and character in this book are also arranged appropriately and meaningfully, making every time they read it, they feel carried away in their sadness. Through this book, I was made to remember that God really loves us and all of His creation, not to just focus on one point in life or to dwell on sadness or grief. Believe that a loving Father always follows us. So the question is, have we looked back and asked Him to walk together with us? There are some quotes that I like that the character from the book say. The first one is, everything seems impossible when you walk alone. Trust me, let's walk together and all is possible, said Jesus. Why I choose this sentence? Because I think it made me realize that God really loves us and all of His creation. Not to just focus on one point in my life or dwell on my sadness or grief. Believe that the loving Father always follows me. And the second one, never belittle the magic of your tears. Your tears can become healing water and river of joy. Sometimes tears are the best words the heart can speak, said Sarah. I choose this sentence because I think it made me realize that the Holy Spirit always works very well, always caring for and keeping our hearts clean, bright and fresh like a garden. The Holy Spirit who parables the human heart as a garden that is often damaged, but He always tries to beautify it so that our life become beautiful by holding our tears to be used as a water to be poured into the garden. And the last one, relationship are not about power forever, and one way to avoid the will to the might is to choose to limit oneself to serve, said Eloisa. One important thing in the religion is to serve. That sentence made me think about serving God, not to pursue wealth or power. My favorite part in this story is when Meg meets three mysterious figures, is Eloisa, Sarayu, and Jesus, where during Meg's conversation with the three mysterious figures, there are a lot of values and messages that can be taken. This book has packed as well as possible, starting from the excellent translation, the easy to understand words, and the solid and clear storyline. Deep meaning through Meg's life story, journey to meet the three-one God, until finally Meg can learn to forgive himself and others. His words are very theological and discuss very deeply about religion. It will be difficult to understand for those who lack understanding of religion. Understanding of the three-one God, which not everyone understand, and it is difficult to understand. So there are some people who think this book is too fanatical about religion and difficult for human reason to accept. So when Meg began to meet and live with these three personal figures at the same time, I also became acquainted with them. William Young's account of the three of them is fascinating. I look forward to what they discuss, how they view things, and what they think. Conversation after conversation, Meg went through change his life. Then, when about the great grief, what exactly is Meg going through? Of course, you don't think that he really is in heaven, do you? But wherever Meg is, he is studying. And I studied with him in every page I turned until I found the last page of this book. So what exactly is Meg's purpose for being there? What was the real purpose of the messenger named Papa taking him to the hut where his nightmare started? This is the story of the heart's journey to find meaning and find comfort. We may all have our own unique events, but they all lead humans to the recognition of something that is completely beyond our ability to comprehend. So that was all about the book review, The Shark. I highly recommend this book for those of you who like and want to explore spirituality. Many universal values are loaded and presented in an incredible attractive way. One of the main things I learned from my introduction to Eloisa, Jesus, and Sarayu was the concept of limiting oneself to express love and appreciation. So thank you, and I hope my review can help you to see this book. You must buy it. Thank you.